Lewis?
Yeah.
Lewis, he was on one side of the road, I was on the other, and I used to have to mess with Dave because we bought it cows. He always said I fed mine.
Jim's hurrying.
I got it.
My favorite.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's 6 o'clock, and I'd like to call, I got you, didn't I? I'd like to call the September 2nd meeting of the Columbia County Planning and Zoning Commission to order. If you'd stand with us, Commissioner Wilder will lead us in our invocation, and Commissioner Dempsey will lead us in the pledge.
Y'all bow with us. Dear Lord, we thank you for yet another beautiful day, for the signs of fall that we're seeing. Thank you for all the many blessings that you bestow upon this country, this state, this county that we live in. We ask that you guide us tonight, help us to make wise decisions. We ask you to look over all the folks that have taken their time to come out here tonight and give us all safe passage home from this meeting. And all these things we ask in Jesus' name, amen.
Pledge allegiance. Flag. United States of America. To the republic for which one nation, God, visible.
Thank you. Be seated. If I could remind you to silence your cell phones, please. We do have all 5 commissioners present tonight for a 100% quorum. Gentlemen, you've had a chance to review the minutes from the last meeting. If there are no changes or amendments, I need a motion for approval.
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor? Motion to approve the minutes as they appear passes 5-0. Gentlemen, you've also had a chance to review the agenda for tonight. If there are no additions to the agenda as it was presented, I need a motion for approval.
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor? Motion to approve the agenda as submitted passes 5-0. Before we begin, I'd like to take a moment to clarify that the Planning Commission is a recommending body to the Columbia County Board of Commissioners. The decisions made on tonight's rezoning and variance request will be forwarded to the Commissioners for final action on September 21st, 2021 at 6 p.m. in these same chambers. If you wish to address the Board of Commissioners at their meeting, please see Ms. Kara Harden, and she'll give you a request to speak form. We're less formal in these chambers. If you have something you'd like to comment on in our public hearing section of the meeting, please raise your hand. We'll call you to the microphone and take 3 to 5 minutes to give us your opinion for or against the particular issue we're discussing. If you have another item you'd like to discuss that's not on the agenda, but you'd still like to be on the record, we have an opportunity in the public hearing section of the meeting. And again, raise your hand. We'll call you forward and give us whatever information you'd like us to have. That being said, we'll dive right into the pretty short agenda we've got tonight. Mr. Butler, massage operator's license for Your Me Time Massage and Spa.
Yeah, this is a request for a massage operator's license at 4571 Cox Road for Your Me Time Massage and Spa for on-premise and mobile massage. This is the same property that got a conditional use for massage last month, basically. She meets all the requirements of the license. Staff recommends approval. One thing too, just so you know, Board of Commissioners did add a condition. There can only be one massage business on the property, so she would be it for the property.
Okay. Thanks, sir. Gentlemen, any questions of staff? All right, so this is not a public hearing. I'll need a motion to approve, deny, or to table.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve the massage operator's license for Your Me Time Massage and Spa LLC.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Motion to approve carries 5-0. Ms. Neal?
Yes, sir. This is a request for a provisional home occupation at 5221 Hereford Farm Road on 4.17 acres, currently zoned R1 Single Family Residential for a one-chair salon. It shows the location of the site at the north side of Hereford Farm Road. And this shows the aerial of the site. This property actually has the primary residence here. That's where the applicant's grandparents live. The applicant and her husband live in this cottage here. And then there's also another cottage here that no one lives in. That's where they have converted a small room into a one-chair salon for the applicant to operate out of. And the primary residence is 3,000 square feet. So the small room is 162 square feet, which meets the 50% of the square footage of the primary residence for them to have a provisional home occupation on the property. If you go back to the site plan, there's a gravel driveway that kind of goes off to the salon, and the room where the salon is going to be away from any other residents or neighbors. You can go to the next slide. This shows some of the pictures of the salon that she's converted, and she's converted from that that cottage. Sorry, I can't get my words right tonight. The hours of operation are gonna be from 9 to 5:30 Tuesday through Friday, and 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturday by appointment only. She'll be closed on Sunday and Monday. And she only plans to have up to 4 customers a day. And staff recommends approval.
Okay, gentlemen, any questions to staff? This is not a public hearing, so I'll need a motion to approve, deny, or to table.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve the provisional home occupation for Magnolia Avenue Hair Salon at 5221 Hereford Farm Road.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Motion to approve carries 5-0. Mr. Butler, you have the next 4 items in our public hearing section. First is file RZ 210901, C2 to C3.
Thanks for the request at 287 Settlement Road for rezoning from C2 to C3 with a conditional use for light industrial. This location of the property on the west side of Settlement Road, right next to the Richmond County line. This is zoning of the property, and we'll be seeing a variance on the next application. We'll kind of talk about that further. But again, most everything around it's currently zoned C2. This property here is in for a rezone to C3 with some variances, very similar requests we'll be seeing tonight. But again, that hasn't been approved yet by the Board of Commissioners. Here's an aerial view of the site, and also the existing site, and the plat of the property, the concept plan. So currently with a zone C2, you could build an office warehouse there, but you couldn't really put anybody in it. You have a hard time doing that. They simply attract things that are more light industrial in nature, more contractors' offices, that sort of thing. With the change in 2016, those have been moved into C3. And we've seen many requests like this over the past several years to basically revise request these areas to be rezoned to C3. Really no issues in terms of the uses out there. I mean, again, you have across the street is in the process of being rezoned. This property here could easily be rezoned to C3 with the current uses. You have on Settlement Road lots of things that would be in C3. You have some body shops that typically can be in both. You have some that are more light industrial in nature down Settlement Road as well. So it's an area that overall can support C3 within that entire area. In terms of can you go back to the site plan? In terms of the conditional use for light industrial, one of the things with the variances that we'll see here in a moment, they did not request to reduce anything for outdoor storage within C3. That's something that can pop up with it. But again, they designed the site as you see here, not having any outdoor storage necessary. In terms of future land use, this shows the future development map. This area is the Martinez Activity Center. Very similar to Evans Activity Center. It's a mixed-use activity center, so it does allow for a multitude of uses. You have commercial, you have light industrial on the periphery, which this would be. You could have multifamily, that sort of thing. A wide variety of uses. In terms of future development, again, it's on the periphery. It's kind of on the edge against Richmond County, so it definitely could have some of this light industrial that could be there. Due to these reasons, staff recommends approval of the request from a rezone to C3 for conditional use for light industrial. That includes staff recommendation.
Thank you, sir. Gentlemen, do you have any questions, staff? Is the applicant here this evening? Yes, sir. Do you have anything you'd like to add? Please give us your name and home address.
Bill Quarter, Blue Water Engineering. I think Will summed it up. I'll just point out the change in 2016 of the uses. All of that property was zoned C2. I think it could be argued if you went down Settlement Road and looked at everything that's there now, a number of those properties probably should be zoned C3 because of their use. So I think our request tonight is consistent with what's happening in that area. And like Will said, there's not a plan for outdoor storage with the layout of the buildings. Parking and circulation, there's really no room for outdoor storage.
Okay. Thank you,
Part of
sir.
the plan.
Gentlemen, any questions for Mr. Porter? Thank you, sir.
Got any potential clients lined up already? Got any interest in this property?
So the owner of the property would occupy the space furthest to the rear, the largest space. The rest of it will be leased space. I'm working for the general contractor and haven't talked directly with the property owner a lot. The discussions with the general contractor is it will be leased space, and I don't know by tenants, but I and the general contractor feel like it's most likely going to be a construction type company that needs a roll-up door and a small office type of thing.
All right, thank you, sir. This is a public hearing. Is there anyone here that would like to speak either for or against this particular rezoning? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing and accept a motion to approve, deny, or to table.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve file RZ 210901 rezoning from C2 to C3.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Motion to approve carries 5-0. Mr. Butler, the companion variance for this tract, file VA 210901.
Yeah, it's a request for variance, sections 9-98, lists lot and structure requirements, and 9-139, buffers and screening, to reduce building setbacks and buffers. This location of the property, we already have looked at it before, again, west side of Settlement Road, currently zoned C2. And also the aerial view of the site, also the existing site, plat. Hold up on the concept plan real quick. So with the property, if it does get approved to be rezoned to C3, the setbacks between, so right now, with the zone C2, you'd have a setback of 3 feet, building setback of 3 feet between these two properties. You also have no requirement for any kind of buffers or anything like that, unless you were to have something that required a buffer, like a use that had a use provision attached to it. That's very rare to have in between, or have two uses, or have two zonings that are zoned the same way and have a buffer in between them. The request is C3, you lose that ability to reduce the setback down to 3 feet, and also you have a buffer that would be required between the two properties, because again, they're not like properties. The request here is to reduce the setback and the buffer only against the adjacent C2 property. That will be reduced down to the 3-foot setback that would be normally required and not require a buffer in between the two properties. Now, the reduction would not apply back here. This property here is zone R3. So you would have a 40-foot buffer at the back of the property, so there's no reduction there. This property on the other side is within Richmond County, it's zone B2, which is basically their version of C2. But again, we don't require buffers between counties in this situation. So this reduction would only apply against the northern piece. Staff really sees no issue with the request. Again, it's like we were talking about before, everything out there kind of functions well together already. The only thing that could happen, let's say they do want to add outdoor storage, we have not waived that requirement if they do have it for a contractor's office. So if they were to add it, I don't know where they put it, but again, if they do, they would have to comply with those requirements. Due to all those factors, staff recommends approval of the request to reduce building setbacks to 3 feet and eliminate buffers adjacent to tax map 078C parcels 527 and 524B only. That includes staff recommendation.
Thank you, sir. Gentlemen, any questions to staff? Okay, this is a public hearing. Mr. Corder, do you have anything you'd like to add? All right, is there anyone else who would like to speak either for or against this particular variance? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing and accept a motion to approve, deny, or to table.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve file VA 210901 to reduce the building setbacks to 3 feet, eliminate buffers.
Do we hear a second? Any discussion? All in favor? Motion to approve carries 5-0. Mr. Butler, will stay with you. File RZ 210902.
All right, there's a request for a rezoning, 4414 Hereford Farm Road and off Hereford Farm Road from R2 to P1 for proposed medical use. This location of 3 properties on the south side of Hereford Farm Road, just next to Parkview Drive. And also the current zoning, again, you have the planning development is all around it, is the town park plan unit development. And to the north, you have R2, which is all single-family residential. And it shows aerial view of the site. We'll be talking about this garage with the variance request here in a bit. But again, this shows the 3 properties. They are intending to use the existing residential property shown there on the street view. And also there'll be, this is the plat of the property, excuse me, got a little ahead of myself. And also the other plat of the property. So in terms of the plan, they are planning to add additional parking. You can see it kind of outlined here. Are planning to widen the driveway to meet commercial standards, and also in the future add a connection there as well. They are in the probably 5 years down the road or so looking to develop this piece of property as well. They are planning to combine all this together. Again, the P1 will allow for medical use. That's what they propose to have there. Again, the chiropractor's office will be in here. Additional development would hopefully be a good addition to the chiropractor's office. In terms of future development, again, it's within the Evans Town Center Activity Center. This area is supposed to have commercial, residential, or high-density residential, professional, and again, light industrial can be on the periphery. This is a request for a P1 professional, so it fits very nicely within the future development map. Also, the town park PUD we mentioned before, it is primarily these types of uses. So again, this fits very well on the south side of Herb Farm Road. Due to this factor, staff recommends approval of the request to defer rezone to P1 for proposed medical use. That includes staff recommendation.
Thank you, sir. Gentlemen, any questions, staff? Is the applicant here? Okay, is there anything, anybody that'd like to add anything to this particular presentation? All right, thank you. This is a public hearing. Is there anyone here that'd like to speak either for or against this particular rezoning? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing and accept a motion to approve, deny, or to table.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve file RZ 210902, rezoning from R2 to P1 at 4414 Hereford Farm Road and off Hereford Farm Road.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Motion to approve carries 5-0. Mr. Butler, the final item on our public hearing agenda tonight is the companion variance, file VA 210902.
This request to reduce the building setbacks at 4414 Hereford Farm Road. You can currently zone R2. This location of the property is only the middle piece that we're dealing with this time, not all three of them. Again, currently zoned R2. Aerial view of the site, we're dealing with this garage right here, which looks mighty close to the rear property line on this aerial picture. Existing site, also the plat of the property, both of them. Also the site itself. Again, we're only dealing with the garage here. We don't have an as-built, so I can't tell you exactly where it is on the property. So again, we are going to reduce the building setbacks for it to remain there. They do plan to use the garage. They are planning to have storage in there, not storage of boats or anything, but storage of office equipment, that sort of thing. The reason I say the boat thing, we have had somebody request to rezone it to have their boat back there at one point. So again, we don't know the exact location of it. One thing too to mention, if this is rezoned to P1, it will be within the Evans Town Center Overlay District. This house would have to meet that maximum setback, or maximum minimum setback, excuse me. According to all of our documentation, it does, so it does not need to be covered under this variance request. But again, if it is rezoned, anything in the future will have to meet that maximum requirement. If they tear it down or build over here, that's. In terms of this is the existing structure. And also, again, recommend approval with condition. Again, the reduction of the rear setback only applies to existing garage. I mean, any future structure on the property must meet building setbacks. Again, we don't know exactly where it is, but we're fine with it remaining. But anything in the future will have to meet that setback. Please staff recommendation.
Gentlemen, any questions, staff? Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Is this Bo River's old house? Well, I thought we were talking.
All right, this is a public hearing. Is there anyone here who'd like to speak either for or against a particular variance? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing and accept a motion to approve with conditions to deny or to table.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve VA 21-0902, variance to section 998, list license structure required.
With the attached condition?
With the conditions.
All right, do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor? Motion to approve carries 5-0. We have no legal matters. Do we have any staff or commissioner comments? Okay, seeing none, do we have any public comments? Our public is vacating the premises on us. All right, seeing none, I will ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Motion to adjourn at 6:19 p.m. Our next meeting is September 16th at 6 p.m. in these chambers.
Groovy.